I think one of the biggest things that gets in the way with setting boundaries with children is the fear of, being the bad parent because you've set the boundary, or the fear of losing the child's love, and also the fear of like the emotional reaction. It's sometimes just easier to let the child do whatever they want so I don't have to deal with the emotions. And I think that this becomes quite a problem in the child-parent relationship because the parent then starts to harbor some resentment toward the child and feels like, that they're a doormat and their child just walks all over them. And it really just becomes a reenactment of how this parent felt as a child, where they felt walked all over and insignificant and resentful of their parents. And now we're just recreating that same dynamic with our children. And so I think what parents really need to learn the art of, and that's one of the things that I teach, is holding the limit. So holding the boundary while also holding the feelings so that both can actually be true. I can have a loving boundary with my child and hold whatever emotional reactions they might be having as a result. And it doesn't take away from my goodness as the parent, and it certainly doesn't take away the child's goodness. I tell parents all the time, well, of course your child reacted. You told them they couldn't have candy. Well, of course. Duh. They're 5. 5-year-olds are going to try to negotiate. Healthy 5-year-olds, of course. They're going to try to negotiate with you. They're going to try to push back. They're going to say your boundary is not fair. They're going to say they want the candy. They're going to say, well, okay, what if I don't have the chips? Can I have more candy? They're going to do that. Of course they are. That's what we should expect. And then we get the wonderful opportunity to teach the child. And I think so many of us were not raised being taught. So many of us were taught via fear, threats, punishments, and really not acting out because I don't want to upset. I don't want to disturb my parents. Or going on the other end of the spectrum. Well, I don't care. My parents are going to be angry with me anyway. Might as well do whatever I want. So we tend to kind of be extreme in childhood. We tend to be quite black and white. And if we don't have adults teaching us about the nuance of things right from the beginning, if we don't have adults helping us with that, we will grow into adults who are also quite black and white, which is why we are continuing to perseverate on the narrative that parents are the authority and children are the subjects. Children are to be controlled by the authority figure. We have yet to evolve beyond this really black and white, non-nuanced way of seeing our relationships. Whereas I think boundaries bring a much more nuanced way of being in relationship.